Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Karsid, Zenith, and HasuMaster here on Metalopolis. Here we have HasuMaster spawning as the pink Terran player over here at the 6 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have Karsid spawning as the green Protoss player, and I have these mixed up. Okay, so my apologies. It is Karsid as the Protoss and HasuMaster as the Terran. Go ahead and ignore this. The colors are correct, but the names are backwards. Anyways, Karsid Zenith spawning over here at the 3 o'clock position, and he should be getting that 9 pylon down, and then gonna go ahead and produce that 10th probe. Back over here, the build order of HasuMaster gonna go ahead and drop down a 10 supply depot, and most likely followed up with a 12 barracks. So Metalopolis, a pretty standard map. Pretty interested in seeing what these particular openings are gonna be. Most likely gonna go ahead and place the barracks right here, or even right here. And we'll see how exactly HasuMaster really wants to try to counter whatever Karsid is going to be throwing down. Karsid is going to go ahead and open up with an 11 gateway. So an 11 gateway, a little bit more tech savvy, and not producing the 12 gateways, so he will be able to start producing these probes. Going to go ahead and chrono boost these first 2 probes. And the chrono boost should be ending right around, probably around the 13 or 14 mark. And then there it goes, and then he should probably queue up another probe and then chrono boost again. So yeah, Karsid Zenith with a very, very tight build order there. Hasu, on the other hand, now just getting this barracks up and now also getting up 1 refinery. We'll see if Karsid is going to try to drop down a refiner or an assimilator to try to deny some gas, since HasuMaster did try to go for a rather early gas opening. So that'd probably be a pretty safe play. Coming back over here, it looks as though, yeah, SCV is now going to head on over, and no block on the gassing so far as we upgrade to an orbital command. We do have an early cybernetics core being placed, or cybernetics core being placed down as well. Cybernetics core before the second pylon, so that is definitely more of a tech push. As now Karsid going for an additional probe. We'll see what exactly the strategies are going to go for. If Karsid's going to try to go for an early Stargate or go for an early Robo Bay. We may see a Twilight Council, but with this particular build, I'm assuming it's going to be either an early Robo Bay or an early Robo Bay or an early Stargate, as the Twilight Council only upgrades Zealots and Stalkers, so that doesn't really help out that much. Now chrono boosting the Stalker, and now also chrono boosting the Warp Gate research, so gonna be able to start warping in those units fairly quickly, but still all this off of 1 production building, and now we get a 3rd pylon as well. Back over here, we're going to see HasuMaster getting those Marines, and we should probably see a late Reaper coming out from HasuMaster. The late Reaper, a very, very common strategy now in order to try to scout out Protoss and Zerg players. More often Protoss, just because Protoss players like to try to hide their tech. And of course I am wrong, as Hasu now starts training up a Marauder instead, and is now producing his factory. So that factory nearly half completed, as I'm still looking at Karsid Zenith's base, and I'm not exactly sure what his strategy is. Income-wise, he's sitting on 22, 23 harvesters, so he has a fairly strong economy, and now going for that Stargate. So it is going to be perhaps early Void Ray or perhaps early Phoenix play. Early Phoenix is really becoming much more of a staple strategy now. And now that players are using those graviton beams, using it to pick up workers, and now Terran players are forced to now get an engineering bay and missile turrets by their mineral lines, even when facing a Protoss player, as that strategy is becoming more and more common. It's going to be a Stargate into a 3-gate opening. So a Stargate into a 3-gate, we are getting 1 sentry, so we're going to have 2 sentries and 1 Stalker with 1 Zealot as well. We have some Marines and Marauders gathering over here. Siege Tank with Siege Tech not yet quite being researched, probably waiting for that extra 100 minerals in order to get that Siege Tech. Nope, not quite yet. Now getting a Starport instead, so we may get an early medevac in order to try to heal up these Marauders and these Marines. We are getting a Stim Pack research before that concussive shell, as that Stalker was trying to trace down this SCV. SCV, however, able to escape. So it is going to be a 3 Warp Gate with a Stargate, and that Stargate now producing Phoenixes, and Karsid doing a good job hiding these Phoenixes over here to the north side of his base. Let's see if in fact Hasu sees that Stargate. He does see that Stargate off of that scanner sweep, so a nice well-placed scanner sweep catching the tail end of that Stargate. I do not know if he was able to see what units were being produced, as these Marauders are now trying to push on up Not quite sure why Hasu is trying to push on up here. He has no way to get a sight up onto that high ground, and with no medevac yet, really going to have a difficult time. Unable to even use that stim pack, and now in the zealots and that sentry is able to quickly take down that one SCV trying to head up that ramp. Now gonna go ahead and fire up that ramp, gonna destroy that SCV though. Oh, a nice force field play, picking up all of these units, and there a graviton beam denying that siege tank from dealing any damage. And that siege tank is just gonna take a load of damage from those stalkers and those sentries, and a nice well-played force field with those phoenixes, canceling the damage and the DPS from those siege tanks. Really hurt Hasu in the long run. Taking a look at the army, Hasu now down to 200 minerals, 200 mineral army, and now we have a graviton beam. No, sorry, we may get a graviton beam on some of those siege tanks. No, a marine coming in to try to shoo away those two phoenixes. So those two phoenixes now just flying around on the inside of the base. I do not see any missile turrets, so we may get a graviton beam on here. Yeah, graviton beam gonna go ahead and try to take down one of those. Oh, take down that mule. That mule taken down so quickly, as now we're gonna get stalkers coming in as well. So Phoenix play offering sight very, very quickly, no observers, but the Phoenixes move so quickly that they're able to really dodge any of the stationary defense as those units now moving on in. Graviton beam most likely coming in on that siege tank, and once again these SCVs or these stalkers able to continue to blink on in and try to break open this front door. Now we're gonna get another graviton beam. There we go, denying that siege tank from firing, but with so many SCVs repairing that one bunker, Karsid's going to be forced to retreat, and those Phoenixes now pulling back once again. And it only looks like Karsid's only using 2 Phoenixes. Normally Protoss players like to go 3 Phoenixes, as that third and final Phoenix allows those graviton beams to come in more often, and you can also harass mineral lines very easily with that. Still no missile turret yet. There needs to be a missile turret perhaps placed here or here to protect this siege tank from those graviton beams. And now in comes, nope, those Phoenixes deciding to just go ahead and pick up that mule again. Down goes that mule, and wow, just losing that 50 energy from that orbital command, equating to about 300 minerals. And you can see that Hasu is really behind on minerals at this stage in the game. Right now we have large stalkers, and now we also have a proxy pylon coming in, so we should start seeing some additional warp in as well, as Karsid also going to be able to transfer some probes towards his natural expansion, sitting on 37 probes, and now we'll be mining off of 16 mineral patches as opposed to just the 8 that HasuMaster is. Finally getting a medevac in there, so that medevac trying to heal up these marauders, and now HasuMaster going to go ahead and move out with a very small army. Let's see if they will be able to reach their destination, or those Phoenixes will be able to intercept. Those Phoenixes do appear to be on a little bit of an intercept course. Will they be able to catch it? No, the Phoenixes do not catch sight of that medevac, so that medevac will be able to drop in the backside of the base. There are in fact 2 stalkers getting ready, but those Phoenixes just getting shooed away once again, and now in come these medevacs. So the medevac now coming in, and now we're going into Void Raid. So Phoenix into a Void Raid, and now the stalkers now getting focused down as well. The Void Raid coming in from behind, and down goes that medevac. The Marauders trying to focus down, trying to deal damage, perhaps trying to take down the Stargate, but that's just really the wrong positioning, as we're probably going to get graviton beams. No graviton beams, as those Marauders just simply destroyed. Stalkers and sentries now preparing over here. There is 1 Viking, and we also have a Ghost Academy for that EMP Shockwave. Will the EMP Shockwave be enough to, or will they be able to aim that EMP Shockwave very easily on top of those Phoenixes? Actually, you gotta aim an EMP Shockwave below the Phoenix. You see where this little line is down beneath? This is where you need to shoot the EMP Shockwave in order for it to hit the Phoenix. If you hit on top of the Phoenix, you may miss it, since the radius is based upon the air positioning. We now have 3 Void Rays trying to push in, going to be able to take down that Tech Lab very easily, fully charged, and now going to perhaps go after some of those Vikings. Graviton beams should try to take down that siege tank, as this whole entire pressure is coming on in. No, going after those Vikings instead. And now down goes 1 Viking, another Viking going to get taken down, 2 Void Rays, and HasuMaster is forced to say GG. And thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between HasuMaster and Karsid here on Metalopolis. My apologies for not getting too loud or getting too excited, and my mouth still hurts, and my daughter is sleeping in the room. Anyways, thanks for watching and thanks for listening.